Hi, everybody. Welcome to Angelic Realms Productions. I'm Marla, and I'm doing this video per request from Just Listening 23 asked me to do a human seeding video. So this is for you, Just Listening 23. This is not easy. It's not easy to comprehend. It's not easy to even talk about. I will make mistakes while I'm speaking. I may not even get all the information 100% accurate due to things changing. And but this history is pretty set. And so are the DNA lineages that I'll go over. And so the galactic history is pretty accurate, I believe. I guess it depends on your perspective and depending on your lineage too. So different lineages will have different perspectives. So this request for Just Listening 23 is via a post that I posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. So this is the post I did on X was the creation of the Leviathan force, angelic human seeding, progression of the Atlantean conspiracy, intruder ET, Illuminati races, etc. So I have my books all around me. I'm also not recording this in my energy room. I'm doing this in my open space kitchen living room space. I wanted to remove all my electronics from my energy room where I do have my practice. Okay, so you're going to see me grabbing books. I can't share this information off the top of my head. The creation of the Leviathan force and related history. This is 798,000 BC through 33,000 BC. So 250 million years ago. Parallel Earth human seeding one is the 5 Palladorian cloisters. Cloisters means it's a family line, okay? 25 million years ago, 5 Palladorian cloisters seeded on Earth. This is the first seeding. 5,500,000 years ago, human seeding one was destroyed via the electric wars. Okay, so now then I have to go into my next book and talk about the electric wars. Because some people don't know what the electric wars are. So I'm going to just read a little bit of what it is. I'm not reading all of it because it's like seriously like 50 pages. I'm reading, this book is from Voyager, Secrets of Amenti, Volume 2. The Electric Wars and the Palladorian Resistance Entity Wars, 5,509,000 through 5,508,100 years ago. So during the course of the first seeding, all went well as many soul fragments from Harmonic Universe 1, that's Earth, and that holds dimensions 1, 2, and 3. They were successfully ascended through the halls of Amenti. Since we're in ascension, which is a Uago cycle of 6,556 years, this happens in the Usago cycle every we move up in harmonic universe every Uago cycle. So here, and in order to ascend, you have to go through halls of Amenti. So Earth successfully ascended through the halls of Amenti back into Terra, but many members of the races from the first seeding had also begun to digress through animal interbreeding and contact with Harmonic Universe 1 ETs, some losing the ability of genetic transmutation, and thus their immortality. About 5,509,000 years ago, members of the Syrian Anunnaki race from Harmonic Universe 2, which Harmonic Universe 2 is, that's Terra, And Terra holds the dimensions of 4, 5, and 6. And that's where we're currently in our ascension process. Right now, we're moving up to our original location, which is called Terra. We're part of the Terranism human seeding of 3, the 3rd seeding. And we came from Terra. So there was the Terran Wars. This one I do know a little bit about, is the Terran Wars, and I'll get back to this. And I have my dogs here too, so you might hear some noises, snorts and stuff from them. So during the fall of man, or the Terran Wars, there was a cataclysm with the Nibirian crystal grids, I believe. And this cataclysm exploded part of Terra, and a fragment of Terra broke off, and it fell down a harmonic universe into harmonic universe 1. And that's our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. So with this ascension, we're slowly through the morphogenetic fields and the motion and fusion, fission and fusion of something called particle. And this is hard to explain things without knowing everything. So when I say these words, you need to know the definition. Particle are the smallest units of consciousness, and particle breaks down into subparticles called particle and particum, and they are matter and antimatter. And there's this thing called fission. They break apart, and then fusion, and they come back together. And then they oscillate and move, and they create this thing called a scalar. It's scalar. The energy form is scalar, and it creates a particle grid. Okay, so I'll just leave it there because it gets deeper with this particle grid. It might come up in this reading. So just keep in mind that everything is about motion and energy and tones and light frequencies. So what I study is Galactic science, and that's what the study of tones, light, frequency, energy fields, all that is part of the Galactic science. And so that's the foundation, is particle. So part of the ascension is that in our morphogenetic fields holds particle units, and this oscillating movement is particle phasing. This is what helps us move up. So we're going back to our original location, which is Terra. Okay, so I just had it throws those in so you can have it understanding. So the Syrian Anunnaki race from Harmonic Universe 2, which is Terra, along with several other groups of ETs and metaterrestrials from the higher harmonic universes, wanted to stop the evolution of the earthly races and abandon the Terranism too, because Terra, the Terranisms, us, are originally from Harmonic Universe 2, which is the 12 tribe experiment. And that takes us to the 12 tribes into the Emerald Order and the Elohim Elohai, the Christ lineages, the 12 tribes, the Essenes, the Lyrian, the cradle of Lyria, and also the hominid cat race. So that would be the lions. It is in relation to Giza, the Sphinx. Okay, so the 12 tribe experiment for fear that the mutating genetic code of the 12 tribes would contaminate the races of Terra as they ascended through the halls of Amente. Remember, through ascension, you have to go through the halls of Mente. So when you do pass away, you go through the halls of Amente because you're going up into the realm, a different realm. Many Harmonic Universe 2 species did not want the digressive human element to return to Terra, for they were already creating damage within the energetic system of Earth. So when you say energetic systems, there's a lot of different systems in place. And those of Terra needed protection from such activities. Numerous other groups simply wanted Earth territories for their own purpose. The resistance groups began a war with the Elohim from Harmonic Universe 3. So Harmonic Universe 3 is Gaia. Gaia holds the dimensions of 7, 8, and 9. And those are the covenant of Palador and Harmonic Universe 2, Terra, entities of the higher universes descended upon Earth, and great battles of pure energy were fought in the Earth's local galaxy within Earth's atmosphere. So these events became known as the Electric Wars. The wars lasted around 900 years of entities of those opposing groups battled for control over Earth's natural portal systems and the sphere of Amente. And the human races caught in this battle either ascended to Terra through the halls of Amente or were relocated to other Harmonic Universe 1 planets with the help of Elohim and Harmonic Universe 2 Paladorians. Those who lost their immortal genetic codes and did not leave Earth perish along with many animal life forms. As Earth's planetary environment was thrown into chaos, Earth would have been destroyed if the Brunel of Harmonic Universe 5 did not intervene. Harmonic Universe 5 is the primal light fields, and those hold the dimensions of 13, 14, and 15. And that also is since they're primal light fields, you have the Emerald Order, but it's also the blue flame, the gold flame, and the amethyst flames. Okay, so let's move on to this other book that I have that I posted on X. So this goes into the angelic human seeding 3 contemporary lineage. This is a lot of dates, and I'm going to mess up these dates a lot. This is a lot of information. I just don't even, I mean, I could technically read this verbatim, but if anything, it may not make any sense because I posted you can read it off of the post. So I think I'll skip that. I'm going to go right into the Intruder ET Illuminati Races of the 2001 UIR. Whenever you see UIR, what that means is the United Intruder Resistance, okay? And that also goes into the OWO, which is the One World Order team, and summary chart introduction. That's what I'm going to read. The Illuminati Hybrid Humans, Unity Through Diversity, Reclaiming Christos Potential. So in the book of Levi, this is where it's coming from. The primary Leviathan. It's LVI, Levi, Leviathan Illuminati Races. The human tribe infiltration. Refer to the Illuminati hybrid race imposters within a given human tribe and select family lineages within a given human tribe that have genetically compromised by Illuminati hybrid interbreeding. These categories do not imply the name ethnic affiliations are dominated by intruder race genetic disorders. The Illuminati non-human intruder race souls. Some of these Illuminatis don't even know their DNA, you guys, okay? So it's infiltrated human lineages. These human souls intruded DNA attachments, and they make up the minority in each human ethnic group. We have it in all of our human ethnic groups, this lineages. So understanding the common problem of intruder races that are infiltrated now shared by all human cultures. This should allow for an advancement of common ground problem solving, human unity through recognizing diversity. Okay, built upon interracial equality, respect, love, and compassion. This is what they were building it upon, the advancement of common ground problem solving, human unity through recognizing diversity. And this knowledge is not an excuse to apply the anti-Christos hatred creed of bigotry, race, supremacy, or prejudice against any lineage. If successful in the first contact invasion plan, the United Intruder Resistance intended to contrive historical and distorted genealogical falsification evidence to indicate that all human races are a common genetic lineage derived from their combined Anunnaki, Samian, and Draconian reptilian stock. This false human unity promotion is intended to vanquish true angelic human race identity and obscure Illuminati hybrid presence to prepare us all for a common unified takeover under a false UIR, United Intruder Resistance Creator God platform. A common unified takeover. True human unity will be gained through a loving identification of species diversity that existed within common chemical clothing of the contemporary human form. Human form, chemical. What is that telling you? It's not real. It's a chemical form. It's probably shape-shifting. That's how I'm translating this. So Illuminati infiltrated human family lines can make the choice to refuse intruder association and opt for aware of the evolutionary changes and require solutions posed by the intruder race genetic connection. So basically, do you want to heal this genetic? They're broken, definitely broken, right? Their genetics. So do you want to heal this or you don't? Do you want like a redemption contract to heal, or do you want to be turned into space dust, right? So angelic human indigo, totally different breed, but Illuminati and infiltrated races can all evolve to genuine Christed race, status, and freedom due to inherent genetic and core template differences. Each group requires a different evolutionary path by which the blueprint template coding required to attain genuine biological-based Christed avatar consciousness minimum 12-strand DNA template potential. Basically, what that's saying is you have that opportunity, like I said, an opportunity to heal, to go to a 12-strand DNA template. You will know if you are in that process of healing, if you are feeling that you are accreting in this ascension, that you are feeling a connection to God Christed consciousness source. If you don't feel that ascension pulling you up, ascension energetic morphogenetic field just pulling you closer to God, and you're staying in this confusion, the circle, this constant swirling of, yes, it's part of the fallen angelic race of Metatronic, black cube, constant chaos in the mind, constantly keeping you in fear. That would be an energetic force called the Fibonacci sequence, that swirling. It goes nowhere. It doesn't go up to the universe and Christ consciousness. It's constantly in chaos. So that's where that plays in. And you can say, I'm an idiot, I'm giving wrong information, and that all this sacred geometry leads you to Christ consciousness, but it really keeps you into chaos and doesn't keep you into, and keeps you in fear. So the fear mongers are not reaching, and they're pushing all the agendas and all that. That is a lineage, is what I'm trying to tell you here. And the healing into Christ consciousness, God source, the unici, the great field of energy force, the breath of God, of motion and movement and vision and fusion, of constant flowing energy, the breath of God, the inflow, the backflow in and out of the constant backflow of the Roosh God seed. If that is not your path, then you are stuck and you are not healing the genetic coding that is the minimal of 12-strand DNA. All right, moving on. Hope that gave you some kind of visual. If the diversity Within the illusion of the common human genome is not recognized, all races will remain trapped into where we are in the phantom matrix here. Within the present state of the common race de-evolution, through which the Christiac genetic potentials within each diversified race will become lost in its progression, degeneration to race extinction. So that's that energetic force pulling you down into a finite energy of constant feeding. That energy is not it's finite, it's not eternal, and it's a feeding, it's energy that's constantly feeding off of you. So most human beings of the Illuminati infiltrated human race descent have no conscious knowledge of their connection to the fallen angelic intruder ET races, nor are they aware that their genetic signature deposes them into the intruder. Individual comprehends the importance of this, utilizing genuine founders of the inner Christos spiritual science teachings and technologies. Inner Christos D12. So D12, when they say D12, that means dimension 12. There's a current. The D12 Christic current is a bio-spiritual regeneration of your DNA structure. There's a whole a bunch of techniques that gets you into that healing, because that's the true teachings of Christ. Christ went around to teach these teachings, these ancient teachings, and it comes from the Maharic, and this is ancient. This is teachings that have been given to us. It's intrinsically ours, and they're ancient Mahabharata text teachings that were put onto 12 selenite discs. These are called the Cloisidora plates. There are 12 actual plates. They are made out of selenite. Selenite is a form of gypsum. It's a mineral, and it's also considered, a crystal. Crystals are minerals. So, and they are actual plates, crystal plates, and they hold all this information that I am sharing are on the CDT plates. Now they are in hidden. They're hidden, and they are given to speakers. There's 3 speakers that are given this intrinsic knowledge, and they are given to humans at specific times when we are in a planetary shift. So since we're in that Uaga cycle that happens every 6,556 years, I might have said 5,000, but I have to correct myself. It's 6,556 years, this Uaga cycle that is also connected into the timelines, the Pardo timelines. I won't go into that because that's a breakdown, but it also works with parallel Earth. So they gave there's 3 speakers. You don't have to be a speaker, but most of these speakers are from childhood. They're contacted from childhood. And the woman who wrote these books, Ashiana Dean, she is one of the speakers who chose to bring this information to us. It's a gift of knowledge. And so the Aani, these highest levels of these or of the Aanis, the Bruno lines, the Elohim, Aani Elohim, the Melchizedek cloister. It's not Melchizedek, it's Melchizedek cloister with the emerald orders, all the different ways orders. And so they brought this information in. So I just had to give you that information, because when I speak of D12, this is what we're talking about. This is these lineages in different dimensions. So the D12 divine blueprint and the Maharic bioregenesis technologies. See, so I haven't read this, you guys. So when I'm sharing this is why I'm explaining the history a little bit. And so you can, so when you just hear Maharic, now you know the Mahabharata text, it's ancient text. So it's Maharic, Bioregenesis technologies are the only methods of which regeneration of the DNA strand template of the 12 personal DNA, 12 pre-matter divine blueprint can occur to restore the individual's direct connection to its D12 Christos avatar identity. It's so hard to share this without explaining more information. So when they say your Christos avatar, what that refers to, we have all these different levels of identity on different harmonic universes and dimensions. We have different identities, our soul selves, our higher levels of identity, reincarnates, you can call it whatever. So as we accrete in ascension, we are pulling in these morphogenetic fields that have particle and particle phasing, and those are consciousness, remember, units of consciousness, and they're coming in. And if you are in that lineage of an indigo, this is where indigos, different levels of indigos, there's 3 levels of indigos. This is where we are doing the healing work of these lineages, okay? This is where it's very important to do these energy protections, because as we accrete and we're doing this healing work, we come into something called miasms or distortions, and they will try to fill our head and pull us into different thought patterns. And this is where hacking the thought patterns come in. And this is why I do brain flow work with people to get them to hack their brain thought process, because most of the time my energy work I do are mostly with indigos. I'm working with practitioners that are healers. So to hack the system of how your thought process works, you have to be you have to know what you're working with. And this is part of all of that. Anyways, there's techniques to do this too in a lot of these books. So when you go in and start to activate your DNA strands, you start to comprehend things at a different level. This is why I am able to comprehend. If you're able to comprehend what I'm talking about, it's like a foreign language, then you know you're getting strands of activation. Okay. So that's what brought me into the Christos avatar identity. The Christos avatar identity resides on that D12. So I've hit that level. So the founder's biospiritual technologies allows the original connection to the primal light and sound fields to be restored via activation of the 9-dimensional Antakarana and the Kundalini cord. Yes, I had a Kundalini activation. Yes, I know what it feels like. Yes, I've been to the primal sound and light fields with my work, and the 12-dimensional Maharata cord. Okay, so the primal life force currents. These are the primal life force currents. When you've activated your Kundalini, you get a connection. You get an energetic connection all the way up into your chakras. So these dimensions, these harmonic universes, it's in your body. It's called the cathartic. You are connected to your chakras are connected to these dimensions. Okay. These are also connected to the stargates. Your chakra units, your cathara grid, your axitonial lines, they're connected to stargates. This is why we have been intruded. This is why there's been wars, because the angelic human race hold the keys, okay? The Holy Grail lines hold these keys, the indigos and the angelic humans. Okay, so genetically vulnerable humans and the Illuminati hybrids are loved by God's source just as much as any other race, and can regain their freedom, free will, biospiritual integration, and genuine Christos potential through entering a chosen path of conscious evolution built upon the genuine founders' inner Christos spiritual science teachings. Illuminati and infiltrated races are victims to intruder exploration, just as angelic human and indigo race lines. Just like numerous fallen angelic races, Illuminati human hybrid races can evolve beyond exploiting abusive behaviors. They need love. Tough love usually works better than soft love, which fallen races tend to exploit. Healing and inner Christos spiritual education, not judgment, condemnation, and destruction to reset and develop the Christos potentials within themselves. Okay, that was the first page one of the first pages I posted on Twitter. The progression of the Atlantean conspiracy is 50,000 years BC to the present, and it goes into the Lemurian Holocaust, Atlantean Holocaust, the Luciferian rebellion, the Ani massacre. So we're going into the massacre of these lineages of Christ. But I'm going to switch to a different book because this is going to go into the true seedings. You're going to learn about the seedings and the DNA matrix. So this book I'm now reading from is called Coming into the Light and the Secrets of the Indigo Children. The multi-dimensional reality model. Let me go back. The history. If we are to understand the importance of the indigo identity, we must reclaim the lost history of our lineage of other worlds. So the multi-dimensional reality model helps us to understand that our planet and universe represents one harmonic of matter density. And this implies the existence of other universes within other dimensions and harmonics of matter. Ancient records and mythologies, intimate interaction with visitors from other worlds within the multidimensional model of the angels of old and contemporary extraterrestrial fall into the same category of interdimensional contact. To understand the identity of indigos, we must understand our own interdimensional, interstellar heritage. We will discover that humanity itself emerged from other world systems and higher dimensional harmonics of matter. And mind you, we only remember right now, except people do have past life memory. But since we live in a planet of amnesia, this is amnesia planet, you don't remember your other seedings that you have been, because remember those other selves? Yeah, those are other seedings from other lifetimes too that we are coming into play with healing. Our race, the Terranianism, was created 560 million years ago in harmonic universe 2. This is what I was telling you earlier, and that's dimensions 4 through 6. So it's 4, 5, and 6. And it's a semi-etheric physical matter system. We were seeded on Earth 3 times by our elder races. Our evolutionary blueprint was that of a 12-strand diamond sun DNA matrix. And our long-term evolutionary goal on Earth was to assemble and activate the diamond sun matrix for progressive transmutational ascension within the eternal body. The Terranianism human race was seated on Earth in the form of the 12 tribes, 7 root races, and 5 cloister races. Each root race cycle evolved 1 diamond sun DNA strand, okay? And each DNA strand represents a fire letter. That's a scalar wave program sequence corresponding to 1-dimensional frequency band of consciousness energy. Remember what I was talking about? That's Partakai. That is the smallest unit of consciousness. So getting back to the 12 tribes, 7 root races, and 5 cloister races, each root race cycle evolved from 1 diamond sun DNA strand. Each cloister race kept the potentials of strands 7 through 12 alive. So that means 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 strands alive within the gene pool. Okay, so presently, and this, mind you, this is from 2000. This was written in 2000. So we're much more advanced because 24 years since this was written. So presently, humanity is the fifth. Well, we still are the fifth Aryan root race, okay? So which evolved out of the Hebrew oyster. Our race has experienced excessive genetic digression through ancient tampering by visitors from other worlds. We've been tampered with. I don't know, you could picture, this is how I visualize it. I visualize, here we are. Let's say I work in genetics in a lab. Okay, my lineage, I'm a scientist, and we're working with different strands, okay, of DNA. So we're putting together different strands that each genetics have their gifts. So let's say we want I want this genetic strand that has high powers of manifestation, okay? And then we have these genetics that have high powers of healing, of a different indigo breed, okay? So I'm going to combine these two genetics and create a new race. And that race would be utilized for a seeding. Oh my gosh, we're being intruded. They're coming in after us. They just portaled their asses right into our laboratories, and they're holding us. It wouldn't be gunpoint, I guess laser point, or they can use their mind control or crystals. They're okay. I guess Star Wars using laser. Give us your genetics. You just created this race. We're gonna steal it. And so they took our seed, they took it, and then they bring it to then they zoom right out and portal out. Or they created a wormhole and came into our labs, and we didn't have our defenses up. They're smart. They know energy fields. They know how to work the systems, and they stole our creations. They stole our new genetics, and they're going to throw in their seedings, their laboratories, in their universe, and they infiltrated us and stole our stuff, and then they seeded it too. That's a visual of something that happened. That's my vision of when I read this. This is how I comprehend it. I put it in a visual. And I guess it's already probably in movies. I don't know what movie I just described because I don't watch them, but I can almost guarantee you that's exactly what happened. They can paralyze you. They steal our shit. Okay, now let's get back into this. So that's where that tampering came in. So the contemporary indigo children are hybrids of the elder races. These indigos are, they want the indigo seedings because they hold high levels of DNA. So the children of the hybrids and the elder race and the seventh root race and Melchizedek and the unicycle cloister plus modern humans. So indigos are part of a modern day hybridization experiment to reverse mutations, the human G code, and restore the diamond sun DNA matrix potential within the Earth human lineage. Okay, so in that little synopsis I gave you, the highest level of healing. So that we created this race for healing, and that's why indigos are indigo twos are guiders and healers. But there's also grid workers and also polarity balancers. So the plan is being actively orchestrated by the members of the elder races of the higher evolution who still reside in the higher harmonics of matter. Indigos are ET future race hybrids, but more fully human than we are. Okay. Now we go into the 12 tribes, and I might lose a lot of people with this because it's complicated. I've only looked at, you guys, I haven't read this before, so bear with me. This, a lot of times as I go, this is how I learn as well. And the key is can I comprehend this enough to give you visuals? Because as an artist and indigo, I like to do visuals. So at the, if I can remember at the end of this, I'll give you a visual of Partakai, because otherwise that's hard. Partakai is a hard one to comprehend. So the 12 tribes in the earth seedings, there's remember 7 root races and 5 cloister races of the human Terranism lineage. Terranism, we came from Terra. Harmonic universe 2 holds dimensions 4, 5, and 6. The seeding date and termination. Okay, so we're going to start. Let's go with the first seeding. The first seeding was 25 million years ago to 5,500,000 years ago. And there's also the electric wars. Okay, so we have within the first seeding, there's the number 1 would be the Polarians, number 2, the Hyperboreans, number 3, the Lemurians, and number 4, Atlanteans. Okay. The seed via sphere of Amenti. Remember the halls of Amenti. You have to go through the halls of Amenti to get to Terra. Okay. The host race are the Ur, that's UR with a dash, and then Terranians of Terra. And that's via budding and fission. So not through birth. This is through fission. This is through units of consciousness of creation. We're talking energy forms. Okay, we're talking the high levels of antimatters, liquid forms of energy forms. We got light and sound frequencies. So the Polarians, it doesn't matter strands. You're not going to understand that. So let's do the harmonic universe 3 was Polarians. That's D7. So that's harmonic universe 3 is Gaia. And when it says D7, that means dimension 7. That body form is called etheric particle. That's your etheric body. And that's Gaia. Okay, that was 25 to 20 million years ago. The next Hyperboreans that I mentioned, that's still harmonic universe 3, still dimension 7, etheric, and that's the antiparticle Gaia. We're talking here, when they say antiparticle and particle, it's particum and partica. I mean, yeah. And so that is Earth and parallel Earth. There's doubles, okay? We have Earth and parallel Earth. We have duplications here. So then we have the Lemurians, okay? And that is CL, that stands for, that's going to be cloister. Yeah, that's CL's cloister number 5. Number 5 strands. That's got to be cloister. This CL5. Yeah, I think that's the cloister races, number 5. That's Lemurians or cloister 5. That's the 5th cloister. Possibly. I could be wrong. Shoot. This one I don't know. It might come to me in a little bit. It's not harmonic. Okay, that's going to come back to me. I need to skip past that. That was 25,000 million years ago. And then there's the Atlanteans, the CL4 Brunel, and that was 12,000 million years ago. It bugs me when I don't know something, because I want to go and do research, but I can't right now. Okay, so that's seeding 1. Seeding 1, you have the 4 root races: Polarians, Hyperboreans, Lemurians, and the Atlanteans. Seeding 2, you have the Lemanians, Atlanteans, and Aryans. You have to remember they took seedings from the original seedings and brought those down. They're intermingling races here, okay, you guys? And the ones that are from seeding 2 is a mixed Cloister Melchizedek plus Hebrew race. It's a hybrid Hebrew strand. The Hebrew is I believe, the original Christ lineages coming from the Essene tribes, the 12 tribes. And this is millions of years ago. And this tells you which strands are the DNA strands within the seedings of the lineage. So the seeding via Sirius B host race, the Palladian and the Centaurian, which is Syrian, the hybrid Draco or Dagos race. And that's seeding to you guys, okay? Now remember, we all come from all the seedings. It's just not brand new seeds. We are from these lineages. Here we go with seeding 3, which is this is seeding 3. Okay, listen up. Seeding 3. Sorry, I got a notification. Seeding 3 is via Ark of the Covenant. That's the host race, Syrian, Palladian, Hebrew, Egyptian hybrids of the Urites. There are 1, 2, 3. These are the 5 Cloister races that that we came from. It's the root race number 3 is the Lemurians, and the Cloister race, I believe, is the Urantrians. That was 75,000 years ago. Then we have Atlantean, and the Lemurian is strand 2. And then we have the Atlanteans, root race number 4, Atlantean. And that was 70,000 years ago. And that, okay. CL is Cloister, and it's the Cloister race it corresponds to. I got it. Cloister, CL, that Cloister race responds to number 4, which is the Brunel. Okay, so the Atlanteans corresponds with the Brunawa races, Brunawa. Yeah, that's connected to Atlantis. So the root race number 5, which is the Aryan, that Cloister race is connected, corresponds to the Hebrew race. And then the 6th root race, it's called the Mavarian, and that's future Earth and Terra. The other ones were all Earth, but this is Earth and Terra, and this is future and ongoing, is Melchizedek. And then the 7th root race, and this is strand, the 6th strand is called the Unichachi, and that's a future Terra. And that Cloister race is the Uniceti. That's strands 6 plus 7, strand 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and that's future Terra. Indigo children are the extraterrestrial future race human hybrids, yet they are more fully human than we are. The contemporary human lineage began 560 million years ago with the Tyrannism race of Terra, and that's harmonic universe 2. Again, I'm going to repeat stuff until you guys remember this, and that's dimensions 4, 5, and 6. And other stellar races existed for many billions of years ago, before Tyrannism experiment began. So yeah, these seedings, it's all an experiment. The Tyrannism lineage was created to allow a new evolutionary option for ancient stellar races who had experienced genetic, which is fire letter scalar waves, digression, and could no longer complete transmutative ascension out of the time matrix. So it's a rescue mission to get us out of this phantom matrix. So hopefully you understood that. If not, rewind and re-listen to this. The hominid life in our time matrix began in pre-matter systems of the harmonic universe 4 Lyrian star system of the cradle of Lyra. I think I had mentioned the cradle of Lyra before. I think I had mentioned that. The Lyrian, Syrian, we were seated there, the Anuhazi. Yeah, the ancient Anuhazi, the Leonis race, the cat race, basically, lions. So it might talk about this in here. It will. You'll hear about this in a bit. So the star system, the cradle of Lyra, life was seeded into this time matrix by one primary ultra-terrestrial consciousness collective called the Melchizedek family. The interstellar interdimensional drama began with the Elohai and Seraphai Melchizedek avatar collectives in Harmonic Universe 4. Harmonic Universe 4 holds the dimensions of 10, 11, and 12, and Harmonic Universe 4 is called Aramatina. Many races of both families suffered fire letter and genetic digression, and one part of the ultra-terrestrial Elohai family was commissioned to keep the proper ascension fire letter genetic sequences alive for all the races in the time matrix. This group was called the Emerald Order of the Azurite Council. So this Emerald Order, the Emerald Order is extremely important. They come from this lineage of high levels of collectives of the blue flame. The Emerald Order of Elohai seeded the etheric matter of, here we go, the Anahazi race in Harmonic Universe 3, which is Lyra, that's the cradle of Lyra, which later fled to the Sirius system. So the Lyrian, Syrian, Anuhazi, or the Syrian white seeded the Azurite race, and they're called the Syrian blues. In the Harmonic Universe 2 Sirius system, in the seeding of the Trinasium human in Terra, so many eons later, the Lyrian, Syrian, Emerald Order, Anuhazi, Azurite genetic imprint was used for the seed of the Tyraniism race. That's us. So the genetic fire letter sequence, fire letter coding of the 12 interstellar seed races was combined with the Elohai, Anuhazi, Azurite imprint, creating a hominid form of 48 DNA strands of the double diamond DNA matrix of the Orifim. And the Orifim, Lyria, Syrian, Tranusium became the Templar solar initiates of Terra. The elder race of Tyraniism 12-strand diamond sun DNA matrix. Indigo children are incarnate members of the Orifim elder races, the hybrid extraterrestrial elder race cloister human form. The ancient stellar races involved with humanity, and it's the Melchizedek ultra-terrestrial family lines. We have the Elohai lineage, and that is the Emerald Diamond Sun. And in the Emerald Diamond Sun, you have the Elohai Emerald Order. The Elohai Emerald Order is 30 to 48 strands of the Emerald Sun DNA. Remember, we're star seeds. Okay, this is why we get called star seeds. The star, we come from the star. The sun is a star, right? And so we come from these sun lineages. We have avatars, the Elohai avatar. Okay, so this comes, the Elohai avatar is part of, we're the Lyra Arimatina. Arimatina is harmonic universe 4. And then it goes down to harmonic universe 3. And that would be, so let me just back up a little bit here, because this is going to go take us down to each harmonic universe. And I just do this, so it's a realm. We got harmonic universe 1, then we have harmonic universe 2, and then we have harmonic universe 3, and then we have harmonic universe 4, and then we have harmonic universe 5, and then harmonic universe 5 is the primal light fields, and then we have the primal sound fields, and then we have the void, okay? And goes more into other things too. Just so you understand, each harmonic universe takes its orders from the one above, okay? How to explain that. So the Elohai Emerald Order. Now we go down to harmonic universe 3. Harmonic universe 3 takes its orders from the Emerald Order, Elohai, okay? Okay, so then harmonic universe 3 is the Illyrian Syrian Anuhazi. This is that ancient Anuhazi, the Maharic text. This is the language of the Anuhazi, because they are etheric beings. So they're able, this is like Christ, because you can go up into light form, okay, and create your Merkaba, but your etheric body, they're able to come in back and forth in human form. And we're not quite there yet. This is going to take a long time, thousands and thousands of years to fully ascend all the way up. But we're just going up to harmonic universe 2. We're going back to Terra. So that means our body is, we're carbon-based, but we're also going into, our strands are activating. So that means our crystals are activating. And so we're turning into part crystalline form. You'll need that to know, because a part of the DNA activation is this crystalline structure. So harmonic universe 3 is the Lyrian Syrian Anuhazi. That is a 24 to 48 strand emerald sun DNA. We come from that. That I say we, because this is indigo sun lineages too. So it's the Octurians, the Leonins, that's Anuhazi also. It's that I may not pronounce all these lines right. The Cetaceans, the aqua hominins, the etheric avian hominoid, the light archangels, okay? The harmonic universe 2 takes orders from harmonic universe 3. Harmonic universe 2, Terra, holds dimensions 4, 5, and 6. Syrian and Palladian. This is where we're healing some of these lineages here. The Azurites, the blue hominids, it's 12 to 24 strands, double diamond DNA. They're 12 to 24 strands DNA, Palladian Nordic blondes. Those are the 11 strand azure sun DNA, the Quinventiliar, the hominid ape Bigfoot, 11 strand azure sun DNA. Emerald Order Orphan can be 30 to 48 strands of the Emerald Sun DNA. These are different lineages. And then there's the Orphan, the 24, 30 to strand double sun DNA. Remember how I gave you that little synopsis of the laboratory and all the different, and we're adding this race and that race. This is exactly like this. This is the races that were, take some of this and some of that, and we add it together, and we get a big, a big mix of all these different races. So you got the Orphan, you got the Terraniisms, and the Adamite Kudmin. And then you have harmonic 1, the 12 tribes. T2 is Terranianism to humans. Harmonic universe 1. Okay, so we have the 12 tribes, 7 root and 5 cloister races, the Rama Shambhali, that's inner earth, T2 cloister ET hybrids, indigo children. This is their inner earth too, the HU1, the harmonic universe 1, earth. It's a mix of it here. So then the Nephites is the Orphan Bellicudium T2 T1 cloister hybrid. And there was a failed attempt to reunite the T1s and the T2 races 240,000 years ago. The High Belial Sun 10-strand DNA. And the Indigo Orphan Cloister T2 to present human hybrid to reinstate Diamond Sun DNA and to assist in planetary grid work to avert pole shifts. So the grid workers, the Indigo 1, do the grid works. They work with crystals and grid working. We have a lot of different grid systems. It's not just ley lines, but they do this work to realign so we don't go into pole shift. And this, when that happens, it's the return of the Emerald Order. We're already here. I could go in it, and that's just one of the Elohai lines. There's 3 more of these, and it's a lot of information. I highly recommend you get this this book. You know, I have the PDF file, but I do want to talk before I stop, because this video is so long. The DNA of the black sun, which many people do talk about the black sun. I'm not an expert in this, but the black sun is the 10-strand reverse DNA matrix of the Seraphim, Dracon, Orion, Draconian, Anunnaki, Nephidim, Nephite, Dracon, Dracos, Dracon human hybrids, the Kun, Rend, Dara, Nephilim, Dracos hybrids, and hybrids human lineage. There's the reptilian, the bird, the insect lineages. So it's mixed in with all these different reptilian, bird, and insect lines. And this allows for an embodiment of the 3 dimensions of consciousness, and it accesses only 10 dimensions of consciousness. It doesn't have cellular transmutation. And remember, each DNA strand represents a 5-letter scalar wave program sequence. That's the black sun lineage. They have 2 through 10 DNA lineages that they can activate. They don't have 11 and 12. They aren't able to get past the dimension of 11. But indigos have 24, at least minimum 24 strand DNA, up to 48, access to 24 dimensions of consciousness. And so do the Emerald Sun. So we are the 5th Aryan root race cycle within the 3rd to the 4th strand DNA activation levels of the dominant genetic orientation. And so most spirits incarnating in our present times are focused in the 4th dimensional astral plane. The 4th dimensional astral plane also is our heart chakra, and that's also astral plane when we do astral traveling when we sleep. Most incoming spirits are those of the people who most recently left incarnation on Earth, who have not yet accreted to the higher dimensional aspects of their consciousness into the morphogenetic field. So indigos incarnate from higher dimensions, and they represent embodiments of spirits who once inhabited the elder race of the ancient times and those who usually inhabit the higher dimensional reality fields that represent future time in relation to our time cycle vibration. That's why I had mentioned about future times, because we are in past, present, and future as well. We're going in and out of all of it. So time is simultaneously, it's all happening at once. True times represent cycles of repeating a vibrational deceleration and acceleration, expansion and contraction of scalar fields into consciousness, and focuses into experience in linear continuum progression. This is why sometimes we feel like time is going really fast, and sometimes it seems really, really slow. We're going into different time continuums, into parallel Earth, back and forth, into different pardos and different Uago cycles. Okay, not Uago cycles, it's pardos and shoot, I forgot the other name of it. I did a video of it. It's I can't remember. It might come up in here. Anyways, to incarnate, the Orifim spirits locate parents who possess higher concentrations, and this is incarnating. This is like soul integration before we're even soul integration integrated into a body form, which happens, I believe, 34 days after fertilization. To incarnate, Orifim spirits locate parents who possess higher concentrations of the diamond sun DNA matrix. Once potential parents are found, agreements are made with the higher dimensional portions of the parent's identity. So these are the soul agreements. All spirits arrive in incarnations through such pre-arranged soul agreements. This is why they say we have contracts, soul contracts. All spirits arrive in incarnations through such pre-arranged soul agreements, but indigo birthing contracts are orchestrated from the avatar and rishi levels of the identity, the levels identity of harmonic universe 4 and harmonic universe 5. Harmonic universe 4, again, is R and the Tina. It holds the dimensions of 10, 11, and 12. The avatar self is the Christos self, and harmonic universe 5 is the Rishi body, and that is the primal light fields, and that's your Rishi identity. So rather than the usual soul level, harmonic universe 2, which is Terra, that's a soul level. Let's go down a level. So Earth is self. That's our avatar is self on Earth. So these special arrangements are called the Palladorian birthing contracts. Remember we talked about Palladorian in the very beginning of this video. So the Palladorian contracts are the higher dimensional aspects of the parent's identity, agreed to allow their incarnate genetic code to be accelerated and enhanced to accommodate an indigo birth. So this genetic code, so in the labs with creation, I had mentioned, we put in these gifts. So a gift would be acceleration and enhancements. So we take, this lineage can accelerate DNA codes or heal or enhance or has all these gifts. So we take the genetic codings and then it's put together into a seeding. So this genetic code could be accommodated for these indigo lineages at these contracted times. And so the parents of the DNA activation levels must be enhanced to create a fetal body with a high enough fire letter scalar wave content, so that's that genetic code, to house a higher frequency of indigo consciousness. That means indigos have these levels of consciousness We come in activated. So you've seen kids with like these gifts of levels of knowing what's going on in different dimensions. Okay, example of connections to heavens, or knowing how heaven works, or how the death cycle works, or um, talking to levels of higher selves, mediums, some psychics, those kind of things. Those are these gifts that people have at different levels. You just have to be careful and use your discernment of really, because there's a lot of shysters out there. So you'll know what the frequency that when they're talking about things, you'll recognize the frequency if it's legit or not. And because we have crystals in our body, and so when something resonates, and when someone talks about something, your body reacts and has a reaction, and that's called it resonates. It has a resonance with it. And when that happens, then you can use your discernment and go, oh, wait, or some people, be like, oh, I hear a sound. Whatever resonation form your body has a reaction to, then you use your discernment, go, oh yeah, I reacted to it. So yeah, that's telling me that it's on target, or it's not on target because it didn't resonate. Okay. So getting back to this, so the fetal body with a high enough fire letters, because we have crystals in us, you guys. This is where you get resonance. It reacts, and it reacts to scalar waves, because the scalar waves goes back to particle. So the genetic to house a higher frequency. Indigos have higher frequencies. We can detect these things because we're activated at a certain level. So once an Oriflamme spirit has found the needed parental genetic code and conception occurs, the Oriflamme spirit begins to step down the frequencies of its consciousness into a vibrational range of the fetal pattern. Upon fetal integration, the Oriflamme spirit activates the 5th and 6th DNA strands and a genetic attribute of the future race of the Melchizedek, and then Uniceti cloisters. So unlike most contemporary humans, indigos are born with the 5th and 6th DNA strand activation, which allows them to retain more open connection between their earth identity and their soul matrix. So like, people that are mediums or whatever, and they can contact their higher levels of self, it's because these strands are activated. And these strands are activated because we are connected to our identities in the morphogenetic field in our chakras. This is why I do energy work, so people can get a connection to higher self, so they can have that higher, they can go reach within themselves instead of outward source. I really try to encourage people to always go inside, deep inside, because outer, you don't know what you're getting on the outside versus inside. So I hope this has been a video that has helped you have an understanding of the seedings, how ancient the teachings that I study are. I'm going to stop there because it's a lot of information. I can't remember if I went into the covenant of Palador. I think I did in the beginning, but regardless, it's a lot of information in this video. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and this recording was made specifically for Just Listening 23. Hopefully this activated you even more than you currently are, because you post some really cool stuff that I have shared with others. When you're out and about and you see different frequencies and light fractals, and you can see morphogenetic fields, and you document this. So thank you for your hard work. You guys hang in there. We're moving in accretion. there's no way of avoiding this. It's happening. It's a cycle, and there's a science behind it. One more thing I was supposed to explain was Partakai. So Partakai, picture this. You have your smallest unit of consciousness, and it breaks down into subparticles, and it has fission and fusion and oscillation and vibration and tritones, and it creates these flash lines that are lights going off, and it creates a carpeted of scalar wave grids, and the tritones create these constructs called Keylon codes, all these codes of crystalline structures that have fractals, and with this creates the fractions of light and the tones, and the lights and the tones all create this beautiful units of consciousness swirling motion that is, if that's housed in a morphogenetic field. It's everywhere. They're units of consciousness. So that's just the breakdown as much as I can go into before going. It's just a quickie of Partakai and what Partakai really is. It moves at different angular rotations, and that the way it is able to move at 90 degrees or 45 degrees is because of the fractals of the crystallines. It has the light fractions and the tones, and so it can move and oscillate, and all that vision fusion and the whole structure creates this illusion of separation. It creates light bodies. It creates a manifestation. It creates something called a repulsion zone where we're not able to see realms. So that's how this construct works, is through this Partakai phasing. And the flashline sequences. So the lights that flash on are called flashline sequences, and it's all connected to with fire letter sequences as well. And then we have our crystals in our body that are part of this too. Remember, we are really an angelic race. We're here to a guardian race. We're here to protect the stargates. And so as we come online, we activate, and we will be able to eventually do interdimensional travel, because these higher levels of orders are connected to something called the interdimensional free world councils. Like I said earlier, we have all these councils, and so we are going to be learning how to do interdimensional travel within ourselves. We are able to travel in our light bodies, and that's how Christ would go up and down in ascension with his light body, which is called a Merkaba field. And yes, the negatives also have a Merkaba field. So Merkaba fields, they spin at a specific way. We have a natural Merkaba and the unnatural Merkaba. So obviously the unnatural Merkaba is connected to the negatives, which we have our 12 tree scalar grid, and then they have their 10 tree grid, and that is also part of Kabbalah. And that's where the fallen angelic of Metatron, it goes back to their own energy force, the phantom matrix. We've been living in this phantom matrix, and that's the black box, like our TV, portrays that. And this black box keeps you in chaos, like I said earlier. But I just wanted to bring that back in so you can have an understanding of where it all fits in. It's energy. Everything's energy. All right, you guys, thank you for taking the time to watch. And I'm sending you high frequencies. And boy, I feel in an internal vibration from doing this video. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for asking me to do this. It's an honor, and I love you all. Bye.